Hi, let's see another way of saving by investigating, and this time by using serverless services. Let's dive in. So first, serverless computing allows you to build and run applications and services without thinking about servers. So modern applications are built serverless first, which is a strategy that prioritizes the adoption of serverless services. And so AWS developed serverless services for all three layers of your stack. First with compute, so you can retrieve here Lambda or Fargate. So in this example, you can find all the Lambda compute right here, which is a serverless service. You can also retrieve here in application integration, such as Event Bridge, Step Functions, SQS, SNS, API Gateway, and AppSync. And so in this example here, I have API Gateway. And finally, also in Data Store with S3, EFS, DynamoDB, RDS Proxy, and all the serverless DBO option with Aurora, Redshift, Neptune, OpenSearch, and Elasticache. And in this example here, I have a DynamoDB table. First example is to use Lambda over EC2. So if you use EC2 instances, you are likely not always using 100% of the compute capacity. Many customers only use 10 to 20% of the available capacity in their EC2 fleet at any point in time. And this is also due because of high availability and disaster recovery requirements, which typically result in idle servers waiting for traffic from failovers. So in the on-demand AWS Lambda compute model, you are charged based on the number of requests and the execution time of your code, which can be more cost-effective than running your servers 24 hours, 7 days a week. So here's an example of AWS Lambda pricing versus the EC2 pricing. I have one Lambda here with three different scenarios. They all get the same memory here, which is a low one. But in the first one, I have high request and high duration. So my final price might be more costly than my EC2 instance that can cover for the same scenario. And so that EC2 will be used 100% of the time here. But if you lower here either the number of requests or the duration here, then you will end here with a low spend Lambda cost. Same scenario here for the second example. Three scenario with the first one is high on requests and durations, and so it will cost you more. But if you lower here either the request or the duration, then you will pay less money than running your EC2 instance all day here. AWS Lambda is ideal for event-driven variable workloads where you want minimal operational overhead and also cost efficiency for intermittent usage. And on the contrary, Amazon EC2 offers the most control and flexibility, and it's suitable for consistent high-demand workloads or legacy applications requiring specific configurations. In this second example, we're going to review Elasticache serverless service. You have two types of Elasticache caching. So first one is the serverless caching, and the pricing model is you pay per use based on data stored and requests. And if you design your self-designed clusters with servers, then you pay by hour based on the cache node usage. You should choose serverless caching if you are creating a cache for workloads that are either new or difficult to predict, if also you have unpredictable application traffic, or if you want the easiest way to get started with a cache. But you can also choose to design your own Elasticache cluster if you are already running Elasticache serverless and you want finer grained control over the type of node running, the number of nodes, and the placement of those nodes. You can see also that here you have more options for global data store, data training, and encryption in transit and at rest. You can also choose your own Elasticache cluster if you expect your application traffic to be relatively predictable and if you want fine-grained control over performance availability, and cost, and also if you can forecast your capacity requirements to control cost. To fix it, you simply have to use serverless services. So the difficulty can be in the middle because it will depend if you are already using those services. We've seen that going serverless on AWS can significantly optimize costs by eliminating the need to manage and pay for idle server capacity. So first you have to build your architecture with a serverless first strategy. Then you can predict your workloads, usage, and traffic. And finally, you can update your existing infrastructure with serverless services. But take caution here because going serverless without syncing may cost you more at the end.